All right. So today we want to talk about how to appear relevant in your field after a long career break. And by
Yes.
long, we mean 8 years, 10 years, 20
Right.
years, where there is enough distance between you and your old job that you might
Right.
be questioning, am I
Well, and
relevant?
we hear this from our students all the time. This is
Mhm.
like a real confidence place
Mhm.
that I don't feel relevant anymore. I don't feel
I get it.
like
I
I
think
can
we
do
both
it.
felt
Yeah.
like that too.
So consider this a little confidence booster for
Mhm.
you today
Yeah.
of things you can do. So first is just to connect to old colleagues and take the temperature of your field, right? Get a little more,
Absolutely.
dip your toe back into that pond
Fine. I
again.
actually had lunch last month
Yeah.
with two of my early colleagues, and one of them stayed in the tech industry, the other has moved on.
Mhm.
But we were talking about it, and the two of us who have left tech were talking with the one who stayed. It's like so many of the things are still the same.
Yes.
So you can learn about new trends, but
Right.
I think you can have great confidence that a lot of the basics like workflow, even kind of the names of jobs in some cases are
Mhm.
the same, protocols,
Mhm.
culture, hierarchy,
Yes.
a lot of those things stay the
Well,
same.
you're making a really great point about why it is important to connect with old colleagues because
Oh, right.
they can help you translate the
Yes.
jargon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that like Susan, this was this before. This was the old
Yeah.
version of this, or
Yes.
this was the old. Remember this? This.
Well, it's kind of like it used to be called personnel.
Yeah.
Then it was called HR.
Mhm.
Now it's called talent management.
Right.
They're all the same thing. So yeah, so that's right. I mean, it's getting the confidence of knowing that a lot of things have stayed the same, but also having a safe space
Yeah.
to learn, as you said, for what's changed, what's different.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And then what hasn't changed,
Mhm.
right?
Right. Right.
So, okay. The next one is to read industry journals and professional
Trade
connected to
publications.
yeah,
Yeah.
and be connected to professional associations.
Yep.
To
So
see
this
what's
is an
happening in the
easy one
industry.
to do. I mean, first of all, you can find these things online now. If they're subscription, you can always find them at your local library. And remember that your local library is part of a greater network. So you might
Right.
be in a smaller town, but they have access to the nearby city. And if you want to get the kind of stuff that might be for pay
Yep.
only, but read them. Don't read just the
Yeah.
current ones either. Maybe read some from a couple years ago. Try to
Yes.
look
The
for
trends.
what has changed, what the
The
trends
evolution.
are. Really important to be knowledgeable, but also, as you said, to build the confidence that a lot of the basics don't change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then the next one is to just follow industry leaders on LinkedIn or X, right?
That's where you're going to find the most up-to-date news. And
Right.
by the time it gets in a paper, it's already old news.
Right.
And the other thing that's nice about following them on LinkedIn or Twitter or X is you're getting the kind of animated version of the news because it's written by a person, and you'll also read the comments. So let's say big news is we just moved all of our data up to the cloud.
Yeah.
Which would be a little late for that, but there's still
Right.
big companies that are still doing that. That's a good thing for you to know.
Right.
But read not just the statement, but the comments. This is great, or this was a little bit of a fumble, because these are things also that knowing them when you're in an interview can drop like, yeah, I noticed that you guys just finally brought all of your data up to the cloud. That's great. How's it working for you?
Yeah.
It allows you to seem more current and relevant than you may be feeling.
Well, and it also gives you some time and a ramp to develop an opinion.
Yeah.
To have an opinion about
Yeah,
what's happening based on your prior experience, right? And your knowledge and understanding from that part of your life.
Yeah.
Like you're bringing that like deep early experience to this job. So it allows you that like a bit of a ramp to develop an opinion.
I actually like that because we had a student years ago, graduated from our course, who had worked in the shipping industry back when bills of lading and invoices were on a clipboard.
Yeah.
And everything was done by phone and fax. And she'd been out of the workforce for 20 years. When she re-entered, one of the things that her employer liked is that she understood what was happening. So when things become automated and they're the push of a button,
Right.
those young employees who are just pushing the button have never had to do it the other way,
Very
don't
true.
even understand the steps in the process. Like this is an official bill of lading. This is a requisition. This is a weight document. This is like really understanding all of these things instead of just pushing a button, not really knowing what's happening.
Exactly.
So she ended up getting the job partly because of that,
Yeah.
and partly because they wanted to have a grown up in the room.
Yeah. And then the last thing we want you to do is just take a deep breath. You want to tell
Well,
them why?
Things are changing, and they're changing for all of us.
Right.
So when we have students who start new jobs, they always say to us, like, I'm kind of running around scared, but so is everybody else.
Right.
Because with the technological advancements, and especially now with AI, things are changing so quickly. that
Everybody's trying to stay
everybody's
on the
new.
hamster wheel, trying to stay relevant.
So you might have missed, using our analogy earlier of HR, you might have been in personnel before, and then it switched over to human resources, and now it's talent management. You can skip over those whole 20 years that it was human resources. It doesn't really matter because you're entering into talent management, which will change again. But the beauty of it is that it's changing in real time, and all of us have to be ready to embrace those changes. And the more we can remain curious, remain nimble or agile, you see those words a lot now,
Right.
the better prepared we're going to be to roll with those changes as they come
Absolutely.
about.
Absolutely. So there you have it. How to appear relevant in your field after a long career break. If you like what you heard today, you can like and subscribe. And you can also visit us at www.preparetolaunchu.com. Thanks.